Hey guys!
Hey!
Hey!
Welcome back to The Binding of Isaac. Here's a little problem. We recorded this episode yesterday, but it didn't record our commentary, so this is actually us the next morning talking over it.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the footage of Lou playing masterfully, but we'll comment it post the actual action.
Now we can judge ourselves.
We were doing this run with the, you were checking your stuff just to remember where we were.
Yeah, last time we were like at half health, but we then found the secret room which put us back at max health. And the crystal ball has been carrying us.
Yeah. And which is good because we've been trying to unlock Maggie, which
and we get catacombs again, and here, I ask Glenn, what items do I have?
Yeah, we got the pen.
This time we have hot bombs, the belly button, which gives us extra trinket room, the crystal ball, the range up in mom's panties,
Dimensional baby,
the night light, which slows enemies, and the midnight snack, which is an HP up, and the rotten piece of bread.
I thought that was the midnight snack.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
And our trinket, the Bitcoin, I guess, gives us reroll recycling machines in each treasure room.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to see every time when you tell me to use the crystal ball and I'm like looking at my controller like, which button was that?
What does it even do?
Like I always, not only do I have a problem with left and right, I also have a problem with like, which one is the one?
Which one is the one?
Remembering
Don't we all
buttons
have a problem with that? Yeah. Something you might see Lou use in this run is like the dimensional baby. If you shoot through it, it makes the bullets bigger and stronger. I think we probably explained that last run also.
Yeah, it doubles them and makes them stronger individually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so because of the crystal ball I can see the whole map, but so I know that the secret room is next to the last room, but I don't have bombs at the moment, so I couldn't get into it.
Looking at this, it's like I remember all the things we did.
It's like a distant memory. It feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah, these thingies, I'm always worried because they spawn these little flies, and of course the fly only does half heart damage, but 2 flies will do a full heart. So I was like, look out, the fly is coming to your left, to your right.
They're gonna give you a 1-2 combo back.
I remember, I was explaining the baby moves at a slight delay from Isaac, and then you were like getting over me like, well, it's not a slight delay, it's like 3
seconds.
That's a lot of time in Isaac, and I was like, well, I'm sorry.
How dare you insult my time?
It's a long time for video games in general, especially like these kinds of games where you have to react fast.
Depends on the game, I guess. I mean, like in Pokemon 3 seconds isn't that much.
Can we just talk about how good you're dodging those grabs?
Yeah, you were doing really well this run, I'm gonna say.
I didn't even notice the first time.
Normally you're so bad now.
Too bad this episode got fucked up.
No, it's fine. You can still see it in all its glory. It would be worse if like the footage was gone and we only had our voices like, oh man.
Just imagine all the stuff we did.
Here you can see us contemplating about whether or not we should get that straw.
Yeah.
I like how you just turned it to like a light siren.
Yeah.
Wee.
So we're gonna wanna re-roll it, but we don't have the money for it, so we're gonna look for money first before we re-roll it. This room, I remember this one was scary because spiders are so unpredictable with their movements. They're really fast and they move like anywhere.
I don't remember. I think you said that the straw is not bad, but it would replace my crystal ball, and we love that crystal ball.
Yeah. The crystal ball always gives you the full map and most of the time blue hearts, which is like both of these things would be good enough by themselves. But the straw, it can be used multiple times per room and damages everybody. It does like the same damage your tears do, plus 10% of the 5% of the enemy's max HP.
I keep wanting to tell you to look out.
Yeah. We took or Lou took some damage on this room, but
Yeah, I'm not as good at dodging spiders because they're so small and they move so fast, and also the nightlight is a bit distracting, disorienting too.
Yeah, here you went back to get the...
yeah, I was about to say, on like no hit runs, any boss fight, easy peasy. A room of spiders, it's over.
Oh, okay, so at this point Len told me that I should go to the mini-boss room because...
Yeah, we need bombs, and mini-bosses give bombs a lot.
Again, me checking which button that thing is.
Yeah, Wrath, the best mini-boss if you want bombs, actually. But it's actually a little hard because normally you don't fight him in this kind of area, and he's moving a little bit unusual for his normal patterns because he's gonna do it in a minute. He's gonna go at Lou, which normally he doesn't do. Normally he just walks around and throws bombs.
Yeah.
Now he's about to corner, and it's like ah.
Yeah, I remember, like, as I was playing this, I was like, he's moving weird. Wrath, is everything okay?
I think Wrath is also confused because this is very unlike his typical room.
It's like this movie stand-up, so he's not gonna crash into me, he's gonna turn around, right?
Yeah, and it's very typical usually for Wrath to throw a bomb and then run at you and then run into the bomb. Maybe that's the thing, that he didn't throw a bomb and so he could just run at me.
Now we will use Mr. Boom to save a bomb for the secret room instead of using one of the ones we got.
Mr. Bomb is like a reusable bomb buddy for like 2 charge, which is nice, but we want a crystal ball, but we can use him once to get to the secret.
Yeah, so it's essentially a bomb for free. Almost. I mean, you need a charge, but...
Yeah, it's every 2 rooms, and he's even bigger than other bombs.
Each time I think, oh no, baby's gonna get damaged, and each time I'm like, watch out for the fire, even though the fire can't hurt her because it's her fire.
It's my fire.
Remember, guys, if you set a fire yourself, it can't hurt you.
Also, my head's already on fire, so...
I don't even feel it anymore.
A lot of people don't like hot bombs because the flame looks exactly the same like enemy flames. So when there are a lot of fire enemies,
You get confused.
yeah, you're like, oh, I'm fine. Touch the fire.
Now we're ready to reroll because we got the money. But first, I think you tell her that she has to pick it up so that the straw doesn't, so the straw is out of the roster.
Yeah. Items can show up again once you've picked them up.
And now, yeah.
It's
Go.
weird, passive items.
Oh yeah, here's the MVP of this run.
Passive items don't show up in the future even if you just saw them, which is weird. Why active items don't
I like
do
how
that.
we approach it really slowly because you're waiting for Len to explain what it does because he's scared. So this is a orbital familiar. It's gonna circle around Lou. It's a big fat fly, and it blocks shots and does damage to enemies that touch it.
Yeah, and Len actually said when I picked it up that this one is actually a really good orbital to practice using orbitals in general because it moves so slow, so you always know exactly
And
where
you're
it is.
going right to using it. You already killed that guy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched Len use orbitals before, so I kind of know
Learn
the
from
idea.
The best.
Yeah, I was like doing a run myself off camera, private,
Of camera.
off camera, and I was using
Duke
the
of
orbital
camera.
almost primarily as my attack source.
Yeah.
Big fan also slows down any other orbitals.
Big fan.
Yeah.
I love orbitals.
Any other orbitals also gets his speed when you pick them up.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I guess not to confuse you, or maybe is it a program?
And orbitals, like as soon as you get a second one, it's always like at the other end, right?
These guys are scary. And
Usually,
here's the moment where I panic because this guy comes from the other side and I was like, oh no, look out!
if you get like gray flies, they keep their equal distance, like 1/2 or 1/3. But Big Fan doesn't fit into that roster. Flies can be just right next to him. And usually you only have 3 slots for orbitals. Like if you have 3 flies, you can't get any more. Or if you have a cube of meat, you can only get 2 flies. But even if you have 3 orbitals, you can get Big Fan squeezed into there.
Yeah.
So He's a
The husk.
pretty nice orbital.
I just realized Big Fan is like betraying his kind, you know. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight for you anymore, Husk. It's not right.
I am your Duke. Not anymore.
Humans and flies can be friends.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we're using the bomb because he's always blocking the shots with his flies, but the bomb can't be blocked.
He has his own fans. It's really hard to get this guy down sometimes, even though he's the Duke, who sucks.
Yeah, the Duke and the Husk have very little health, but doing them with no damage is a challenge.
I always hate leaving hearts on the ground. I always want to get them.
God damn it. Why are you taunting me like this?
And you can also see... I don't remember what we're talking about.
It's
I also
lost
don't
to
remember. I think I was talking about my crystal plan. Maybe. I don't know.
And so you can see in the bottom we still have the 2 of hearts. Can we roll, alright?
Yeah, we made our face pretty again.
Now we have no growth on our face.
Yeah, with the 2 of hearts we're kind of waiting for a bit where like you got half health, so it will heal you good.
Yeah,
It
2
will
of
heal
hearts
you up
will
good.
double the hearts that you have. It won't give you any additional heart containers. It will just heal you.
Yeah.
So it's usually best to use it when you're at exactly half of your life.
It would be nice if it doubled your blue hearts, but that's wishful thinking.
I mean, the hearts on a heart card are red.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about? Oh yeah, how
Every time you get a full charge, it's like processing.
These guys shoot spiders, so it's like there's spiders inside.
Oh yeah,
And
and I didn't get that they're shooting spiders, so I was taking care of the spiders first.
Yeah, which isn't wrong.
Yeah, but like they keep spawning more, and spiders are of course the bane of everyone's existence.
I remember back in the day when there were no spiders in Isaac. Before the first update.
Before the first spider rising.
Now we need to go back for the
Checking the
treasure
map.
room.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't leave any treasure behind.
I mean, we can.
Oh yeah.
The shit is shit because they just swipe at you really fast, but you did so nice.
Yeah, we can slow them down really good with the light, but
I like
you
how
have to aim the light.
I like how you did a super dodge at a guy who's swinging at you at full speed, and then you ran into the one that didn't move.
Yeah, it's pretty...
It's hard.
It's hard to get used to looking at them while they charge at you when you have the night light. But if you look at them while they charge, they like only move 1
Oh
centimeter.
god, I hate bone.
Skelly boys.
Skelly boys, yeah.
You're in the bone zone.
Yeah, I was
You're
making
having a bad time.
I was making the proposal that you could use your orbital to
block.
damage them and block at the same time.
Yeah, but I'm still
Dual
getting the hang
wielding.
of this, so...
It worked, kinda.
Took a bit more
Could've-
damage than I would have wanted,
Could have
but...
taken a lot more damage.
Yeah.
You could have.
It wasn't spiders.
There were other ones where Bonies
Imagine spiders that throw bones.
got a better
Oh,
hit at
God.
us.
This is a tricky trap a little bit because it can
Yeah.
easily suck you into the spikes if you're not careful.
I was saying that you can just stand still once it starts sucking you.
So here we're like, this plop item, it's pretty nice, but it's another familiar, so let's reroll it for something and then...
Yeah. It was another orbital, but it does very low damage. And it doesn't even block shots, I think.
So this unicorn horn gives you like temporarily like invincibility and damage up with like charge, but we don't want to lose the crystal ball.
And here we have greed.
If you know what a chariot does, the unicorn
dead.
horde gives you the chariot.
Yeah, greed just is like, nah, you can't buy stuff, and he just kills our money too.
Yeah.
Now we have no money left.
Oh yeah, I pointed out like this sprite, you know, of greed compared to his artwork in Four Souls. Like the Four Souls artwork of him is a lot more flattering, you know, he looks a lot more handsome
It's like,
for a corpse.
what is like the
I
meme?
just
Like
realized
Instagram pic and reality.
I just realized they like it's like Steven on one of the shelves.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's also like Meat Boy and Dr. Fetus.
Ah, it's different.
There's like admin merchandise in the shelves.
And greed keeps us all for himself.
Okay. Again, crystal ball. Taking a moment to process.
Reed gave us some money back. And now we do the switcheroo again.
Come on.
Yeah, I didn't see that it changed.
The feather was another active item, so we didn't want it anyway. Yeah. And now I make the epic plan to use the TNT to reroll the TNT itself.
Yeah, so what Lou needs to do, she needs to place the TNT, then get her crystal back and then blow it up. And she was like scared that she could accidentally lose the crystal.
Yeah, because I thought the TNT was just gonna blow up. I forgot that I have to trigger it first.
Yeah, that's the gimmick of the TNT.
And now we get super cute sparkly bombs.
Yeah.
They're so cute. I love the sprite.
The fact of the sparkly bombs is that Isaac sparkles. Oh, and maybe the bombs are sparkly.
Yeah. He sparkles, he gets 5 bombs, and from now on all bombs are sparkly, which does that sometimes they spit out items when they explode, including bombs.
And Len wants to point out that it's sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're like, 3 items? Oh,
we got fire.
Maybe the items burned.
Oh man. I mean, it could be. Now we gotta kill this guy because whatever.
I don't know if you ever noticed, but like the steel covered TNT boxes can't be moved, but with the wooden grid can be.
I noticed.
Yeah, I do know about that, but I don't like register that a lot while I play.
This room is almost identical to room before. I can't believe there's some reasons.
Yeah, isn't it like the same room?
Well, it couldn't have been because that guy died.
There's like 2,000 possible rooms per floor archetype. So.
That hurt.
I gotta say, sorry.
Don't hold in sneezes.
Like, I had one time where I got the same room 3 times in a row.
And here I just accidentally got the super secret room.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's a lot more relaxing to see this in hindsight because I don't gotta be worried, you know, I know what's gonna happen.
This room is pretty bullshit because there's a lot of bonies, and normally bonies always appear with a lot of rocks, so you can take cover. But those are just a lot of bonies that have bonies as cover.
Here was like we went inside and like red
okay.
fire, go back.
2 of hearts. Take care of the red.
Like look at all the fire and then go back out, formulate a plan, and then go back in.
This room is very stressful.
Here you were about to get hit by the red fire's bullet, but then somehow it dissipated. I don't know. Was it the? Yeah, they don't have much range.
So
we're just staring death in the face, like.
The idea here is that we are gonna move. Well, I'm gonna move the stone chests to the TNT so I can blow them up. But first, I wanted to have some fire out of the way so I can move it.
Len, do you want to explain the tile set of the secret rooms again?
Oh yeah. Maybe I explained it partially before, but every second secret room, which is the secret rooms that aren't adjacent to 3 or more, has a random tile set from another floor. So this is the tile set of the burning basement, which we saw in the episode we did the daily on. And
which I really like. I like the embers on the wood.
Yeah, it's the exact same effect they use in blue for the caves with the water. They just colored it differently.
That's
neat.
Cool.
Yeah, and sometimes there are tile sets you've never seen before, and that's because they use the tile set of floors that have yet to come. So it's kind of like a preview or a foreshadowing.
A money.
And now I was talking about that the skulls can drop hearts and cards.
Hearts and cards.
Heart of the cards.
The heart of the cards. So
we're trying to get as many in one radius of a bomb as possible.
Yeah, we are. Mostly looking for the black hearts.
The problem is that it also spawns hosts, but you know we can just go in and out. And here we get Yara.
I think we used Yara once before, but it's the room we unlocked through the shit challenge. And
it multiplies the items on the floor.
Yeah.
The lying one. These are those that are not.
I was about to say, now we can multiply the black heart. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I didn't realize that it has to be on the ground to get multiplied. So I was like, oh, just pick it up. Ready
So
to
now we
multiply.
use the magician for the boss, just
Just
Loki.
Loki. We've never seen Loki before, right? I mean, we have, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we caught it in the playthrough.
he always does this plus X plus pattern, which Len explained to us, and we didn't realize what it meant, and we're confused.
I did. You didn't.
I'm sorry.
I'm
not gonna pull you into the mud. It was just me who was stupid.
I was mentioning that shallow rooms are usually pretty bad for bosses, but Loki is actually easier in shallow rooms because if he is in this regular sized room, he always spawns with spike blocks, which can hurt you.
And
But-
he has more room to fly around.
Yeah.
HP up.
So most of the time he just avoids you while shooting the flies and you have to dodge the spike blocks. But in this room he has no dodge room.
All right, and a little
Generous
context again. Like we were doing this run in order to unlock Maggie.
Yeah, so we were checking devil rooms but we weren't going to buy anything. But he didn't even offer us anything, so that's nice.
He offered us chests.
And
For
2 blue
free.
hearts.
And now we get the Yara back and I construct a brilliant plan to give us a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
What was
So the dog food to get an HP up was exactly what we needed
just
from
what
this.
I needed.
And here I have
What
to leave
was
the
your
hearts
brilliant
again.
plan, Len?
He's gonna
I'll
explain
tell
it
you
in
about
the next room.
So the crystal ball gives us blue hearts almost all the time, every time we use it. And I was saying we can spawn a blue heart with the crystal ball and then just leave it on the ground and then come back to the room once we have another charge and spawn another blue heart. And keep going until there's not enough rooms on the floor to get another charge. And then we can double every blue
Blue
heart we
heart
got.
that we got.
Yeah. Here we got some multi-faced dudes.
And we were lucky that none of them like turn into bonies, because when you defeat them they can turn into bonies.
And you killed that guy with big fat fly. That was good. Biggest fan.
I think I was still explaining the plan here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't pick it up, leave it here for later.
Then we can already see all of the maps.
It's like that
This room is scary because we got all these laser guys. And
Yeah.
it's hard, you easily can lose track of them. And then from the side, these baby angel death guys are coming. And one is the champion, so it's like, oh man, better kill them fast because they're coming.
that blue hearts plan just reminds me of like that Überraschungsei thing that's like, if you're not gonna eat it while I'm away, you're gonna have 2. I'm gonna give you another one,
He was
so you're
like-
gonna have 2 later. It's like, oh, okay.
It was like, there's one more baby. And we got scared by the mini.
And I got scared by them getting scared.
Kai was the one. You always like, yeah, Lou was scared too.
No.
I was saying,
When I said we, I meant all 3. And then I was not scared, so he was saying you were scared, which was a lie.
one of the babies was like an angel, which has the triple shot, and it was a champion on top, so it has the triple full heart damage.
Yeah.
These guys are also annoying. They have homing shots and body flies.
What are they called again? Horf?
Psyhorse.
Horf.
Psyhorf.
So these Psyhorse have homing shots that do full damage.
This coin there, we're gonna see it again in a second. It's like lying on top of a candle texture. So it's like, is this coin
Super
sparkly?
sparkly?
Is it a special coin?
Is it shinier than usual?
And you were like, nah, you're seeing things. And then I realized, oh, it's candles. Candles are balancing the coin beautifully.
Yeah, I told you it's the floor. It's the floor tile.
Why is the floor sparkly?
It's candles.
And I hated that the heart spawn in a spot where I can't get it.
Yeah, we have a lot of keys, so we don't mind
The
using
world shows the entire map, which we don't need because we got the crystal ball, so
Crystal ball is our world.
back to Yara.
And now in the treasure room, we get
Stuff.
stuff.
We're looking
Go
at
into the treasure room.
We're looking at the coin. We're admiring its beauty.
Right. We get little Chubby. He flies like a rocket until he hits
Like a
A wall.
boomerang, basically.
and comes back. Right. And I was saying, he's nice, but you could shoot for the moon and get something better. And Lou was like,
Moon? Because there's a moon card. I thought like, why do we want the moon? Like,
But I meant like, it is good, but we could get something better or worse. And then I said, and this is much better.
Jerk
He
bum.
wants to take your life. Actually, he wants to take red hearts that are lying around, which is good, so we can feed him this one that was gonna be useless.
Yeah. So he's gonna get that red heart, and when he has enough, he'll spit out blue hearts or
Friendly spider,
yeah.
right?
Sometimes it's a bad spider, but that's the less likely one.
This is a bad.
So instead of an arcade, we have like this room.
It's like a bedroom which has arcade music.
And a bomb.
Yeah.
We have so many keys, we're giving it to the key bomb.
I was hoping he would spit out some chests, but he gave us the lockpick, which picks locks of golden chests.
So we don't need to use keys on golden chests. I don't think this ever was used.
We'll see. We're not gonna sleep in the bed yet because it heals you fully and we can wait. But this also means that we are free to feed red hearts to bomb.
We can use this.
So much stuff at once.
Yeah, we had a dark bomb before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we won that one, but he probably helped.
He helped not winning. I'm sure we won. We always win.
I don't like those.
Yeah.
At least at least they're slow.
There's like
Unless they jump.
there's like the pale fatties, which don't bleed, and those are like the fat sacks, they're just called, which are the ones that bleed.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Black bonies are just bonies that explode.
And are black.
So don't forget, if there's a charcoaly skeleton, it's gonna blow.
Yeah, now
Alright, so I have full charge again, so I'm gonna drop another blue heart here.
Execute order hearts for hearts.
And here Len tells me to check the map, and we have actually enough rooms to get another full charge, so
Let's do it.
we'll keep those there.
Did you ever notice, I think I mentioned it before, that rooms that are like L-shaped or very big give you 2 charges for your item instead of 1?
This is pretty nice.
No, I
Also,
do.
you kill them pretty coolly here, like in
Yeah,
all the rooms.
you use the
The baby.
Nightlight,
night
the
like, very
baby.
effectively. Easy first time.
Yeah.
And I
At
didn't
the
get
beginning-
anything for this room.
At the beginning
You
you
got a
took
double
damage.
charge.
You have to,
Yeah, but
when you see the corner of a big room, you have to expect that the rest of the room is like mirrored. So you need to expect the other guys in the corners.
Here we have Mom's hand, like, going off floor master on us. And we have
Damn
to
it.
go back.
Where am I?
yeah, and we decided that like 2 hearts is a bit too much to handle that room, because that's where we go next, so
Yeah,
Gotta take a snooze.
especially because the fat sack creep does full damage. Everything else from the fat sacks does like 1 damage, but creep does full.
yeah. So we got a full health, and now back to that room.
You can't tell me what to do, Mom.
How many
At
times
Mom's
you gotta
hand.
teach you this lesson, old lady?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing beyond. Oh no, you wanted me to go to the shop, so I was like, can we just not go back into that room?
It was
It's
like, we have a lot of money, and there's a shop. And because we met Greed on the last floor, Greed can show up here.
And, you know,
There's-
their hands, once you know that they're there, they're pretty easy to take care of, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
just look at the shadow and then bam.
they're not hard by themselves, they just make other enemies more difficult.
Oh yeah,
So
now
here's a bunch of TNT, and we can blow up all these skulls who might drop cards or black hearts.
Or Heart of the Black Hearts.
where's the button?
No,
Where's the button?
Got
And
a
we're not
host,
gonna fight a host, so back.
despawn it.
I'll be your host tonight. Nope.
Nope, you won't.
And now we got not a single host from those.
Yeah. Now we're gonna be...
Well, they probably would have blown up.
Now it's a little bit like, okay, what do we even do with all these cards?
Because we got the 2 of diamonds, which doubles our money, I was saying that we should check the shop and decide if we use the arrow on the 2
Okay,
of
let's
diamonds.
buy things.
And
Super greed!
come on, dude!
Well, it's not greed.
And
He went
like I
super-
mentioned, on the lower side there's a Dr. Fetus plush in the
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
at the boss HP.
Yeah, and also we used, Lou used the devil, which makes attack stronger. Also makes it harder to distinguish your bullets from the other bullets, taking a bit of damage because super
Yeah.
is ugly.
Also, like, these guys are grey and hopping around, and I have like 2 grey buddies myself, so there's a lot going on screen.
Did we fight Super Greed before?
I feel
I'm
we
not sure.
might have, but who knows.
But spoilers, there's a super version of every sin. So
Every sin can get worse. Now we're just gonna multiply the money because there's no shops after this floor.
now we do some gambling. So look
Because
forward to
there's
that.
no shops after this floor.
There's a lot of greed enemies, which are like always called keepers or something like that, or greed heads.
We get a bunch of bombs out of this, which is nice.
Every enemy who has like the greed archetypes steals your money if they hurt you.
Which is mean.
And the only thing that makes this archetype is that they are always grey and they always have dry lips. So don't get dry lips, or that's
Get a
it.
friendlier pick and fly.
Yeah. And when we get like a red heart or half a red heart, like Bum can get it.
Full health.
And we even got full health, so we
Yeah,
don't
we-
even need to pick their hearts.
I felt we're about to use this one because it's like, well, we got half health, so, and we don't want to do the black heart and the other stuff, so
Yeah, we want to keep the Yara, so the full health gonna be used.
You got us a little spider friend, so we now have a spider friend, a fly friend, a big
Spider
fan,
Friend's got
dark
this.
bum, and dimensional baby.
Dark Bomb
We have a whole
cashes
party.
out or pays out like every 1.5 heart.
So it's a bit of an exchange right there, but you know, you can't. There's often times where you can't pick up red hearts anymore, and so it would be a waste to just leave them lying around.
Yeah, Dark Bomb could have picked up all these hearts we left behind. That's his main. Yeah.
The
draw.
problem is just that, like, you know, if you do want to pick it up yourself, you gotta be faster than him because you know he's gonna take it no matter what.
Always when it spawns, there's like a small delay where he's like, "Oh, okay," and
Is that
starts
hard?
moving.
Now we're gonna blow it up and get a heart from it. Ta-da!
And we
Thanks.
even get a heart. And then there's Yera.
Yara.
I like how there's like this second word under the rune, which is like abundance, which doesn't explain what it does, but when you know the rune, you can easily remember it by that word. Because abundance,
Cake.
of course, it's the one that doubles things.
You got an abundance of pickups.
Like Hagelas, which we already know has like destruction and it destroys every rock. So that's also. Oh,
Okay,
those are the
so-
Petties.
Earlier I used the card.
No, the pill.
Oh yeah, I can see forever, which is why the super secret room was
Just
shown.
revealed.
Yeah,
But
revealed.
first we gotta go back to the soul heart farm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
drop another one because we have a full charge.
Now,
Find the button.
find the button. We got the dice shard instead.
Yera.
But I was
Yeah.
It's
it
better
doesn't
than
matter because we can get to the HP cap anyway.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we
you know,
can't
Bum
hold more
gave-
than
Bum
this.
gave us this other heart and we got the black heart, so we're already full. Gonna take the dice shard. For later use, maybe.
I think I never mentioned before, but in the original Isaac, there was no cap for HP. You could
Oh, yeah, I remember.
keep picking up blue hearts, and they would be saved, and you could take damage for those blue hearts, but they didn't show on screen. It was like at max at 12, but if you picked up another one, you had like 13 hits, but you only could see 12 hearts. And
You're doing pretty great with these brain guys here. Like Len was saying, you should probably use a bomb, but we are like, nope, I don't need it. These guys are dead meat.
From behind, at least.
Dead meat from behind.
Okay. Yeah, everybody was like using all the items that give you blue hearts, and like it doesn't matter how much damage you get. So if you can take 80 hits, it doesn't matter how bad you play in the late game. And then when it was announced that in Rebirth they would be giving a hard cap on 12, everybody was like, what? This destroys the entire purpose of Isaac builds.
Oh man.
And now it's like such a surreal concept to have infinite hearts to win the game.
Okay, so here we were pointing out how these guys kind of look like cheaps.
Yeah. It has to be mentioned again. It's
Yeah,
important.
please.
They always look like...
Go rewind back and look at them and tell us that they don't look like
Oh, this shit,
cheaps.
look at this shit. It just ran right into the spikes.
Yeah.
It didn't know what hit it.
In this
The
fight,
spikes.
Lou uses the slowdown on the
In this
shit
fight,
more.
you can see excellent uses of slowdown. We are like perfect form. Mwah.
I
As
was about to
executed,
say, in this fight, you loses.
but who loses?
You loses is the opposite of a winner is you.
And he's
Mom.
mom.
He is mom. So,
Oh yeah, and Len pointed out to me in this that mom's foot only hurts as she stomps down, but when she just is there, it doesn't, so I can just run at her with like my little fan.
Yeah,
Big fan.
And like the foot only
Little
hurts
big
on the
fan.
moment of impact. but
yeah, it
then
doesn't do any contact damage itself.
Unlike her eyes and bulbs of fat.
And then I also mentioned that when she puts down a
She
fire,
puts her foot down.
when Lou drops a fire bomb, she can stand inside the fire to make her storm into the fire.
Yeah. That reminded me of like the prank that you have where you like put shit in a paper bag, set the paper bag on fire and put it in front of someone's door and ring the doorbell so that they have to step in the shit to put out the fire.
That's a little extra.
Yeah, it's a little overkill, right? I mean, you set something on fire, you know, which could potentially, like, you know, I don't know, if no one opens the door, it could set the house on fire. All just to get someone to step into shit, which happens all the time anyway.
If they don't open the door, it's their fault.
I was like,
It's also like, I always figured like, doesn't it smell? Like, doesn't it smell like shit? But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
again, I guess when people see like fire in front of their door, they just trap into it without smelling first.
yeah, it was
The
like,
real loser is the guy who has to put the shit inside.
We
Now
did
we got
it!
Mr. Dolly, which gives us a range upgrade and drops a few hearts on the floor. And I was like, it could be red hearts, it could be blue hearts, but if we use the dice shard, which replaces the item, we could get an HP up, which is the thing we need for Maggie.
Yeah.
So
we were like,
thinking about-
well, if we can't get an HP up from Mr. Dolly, then it's worth the risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
First I misunderstood and thought Mr. Dolly has a chance of giving HP up because he said it gives you either red hearts or blue hearts. But then he was like, no, it just drops them. I said, oh, okay, then just re-roll, Mr. Dolly, whatever.
Like there's no chance or a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got it. HP up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here she is.
Magdalene.
And the tank challenge.
you
And the
unlock
curse challenge.
you unlock these challenges because you play as Maggie in these challenges.
Okay.
And I think this is it, right?
This is it.
This
Yeah.
was it for this episode, so I hope this wasn't too weird. It's hopefully just gonna be this episode, we just recorded one. So, yeah.
Yeah. Complete win because we unlocked Maggie.
Okay. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.